Hi students, next is going to be the topic of framing when it comes to surface design. So this is one of the very simple basics that you can use to enhance your two-dimensional design. It's very simple, but it's quite impactful. So this piece right here is a drawing of a woman, but the way that it's framed, it is framed right around her legs and her shoes. So that makes a big difference versus showing the entire body. And that's a good example of cropping, right? Cropping is also kind of like, you can do that to photos, you can do it to shapes, you can do it to anything. And it's also kind of like zooming in or zooming out to take a look at something or show some sort of like a focal point. Okay, then you have margins, which is another way of creating framing. So a really simple way of framing something is to create borders along the top, the bottom, and then the sides, and then other things that you can do with margins. Okay, so let's just take a look at both of these things one more time. So this is a art piece by David Hockney, who has cropped, in a way this image, but I'm sure this house is, kind of goes beyond that. This diving board kind of goes beyond this, and the pool, maybe kind of goes like this or something like that. But he cropped it in a way where he's showing parts of things that are important. They're quite important, but the splash is also super important because, that's what the title is, and he's kind of focusing in on this kind of action of the splash, right? But he also wants to show a lot of things that are around without having to completely show everything around. You don't have to see the whole house to know that there is a house here, for example, right? So in here, he is using cropping to his own benefit to create lines and shapes and create a really nice composition. Then we have margins. And a lot of this works with if you have a bunch of elements going on in your design. So of course there's borders like we talked about, top, bottom, left, and right. You can make them the same width all around, or you can vary them. Or you can make the top and the bottom the same thing, the left and the right the same thing. All of these little decisions can have a great impact on your design. Okay, and then you have more margins, and it kind of falls into the same thing as alignment as well, where you have some thinner margins between images and text, maybe like a thicker margin, and aligning things to existing lines within your objects, right? So really thinking about when you're looking at a magazine layout, for example, you're going to see a lot of margins. So here we have margins between all of these little paragraphs, and they're the same distance to create that like regularity, right? It's like this kind of like repetitive kind of thing going on here, and it creates a nice composition. Okay, so just two simple things with great impact.